when you're valuing the price of anything, and that's what as traders we're doing, whether it's short, medium, long-term time frame, doesn't matter, trying to value price. You want to, if you're trying to buy something, you want to buy it cheap. Trying to sell something, you're trying to sell something that's expensive. Well, one of the ways, concepts, techniques used to value the price of anything you buy or sell is to compare it to something else. We've known over the last few weeks at least that Nvidia has been a very influential stock for the NASDAQ, which is influential on the ES. So if you're a NASDAQ trader and you really don't know what certain stocks are doing, then you're not a NASDAQ trader. In this, and I'll give you an example. In this particular time of day, right over here, top right of the screen, the NASDAQ makes what we would call a higher high, gets above that high in this second circle. You also get a higher high over here in the ES. And so you got two stock indexes kind of charting similarly, both making higher highs in this particular sequence. NVIDIA, which was making highs in this sequence right here, wasn't and didn't in this second test right here. That has to get you to scratch your head. Now, if you're not watching NVIDIA, then you have no chance of doing apples to apples comparisons. But if you start watching other instruments that are influencing your particular instrument, the one you're trading, now you've got the necessary pieces to the puzzle start making sense and building out your story or your bias, bullish or bearish. In this case, less bullish or maybe in fact bearish, that you think the next right side is going to be the downside. And it sounds like a pretty simple concept of comparing it to something else to find value, but that's where the value is in this job of predicting where price is going to go next. It's the value is in the simplicity. The reason why is because most people skip over it. Most people have no idea that this technique of comparing in this correlation idea would be important. Yet that's all they've done when they buy and sell cars or plane tickets or houses. They open up a trading account and people ignore this tool, this concept. And if we look at NVIDIA, I'm going to pull over a chart that shows what NVIDIA was doing at that moment. Oh, this is a, let me show it. This might be showing it a little bit better. Hold on. Now, let me spread it out here a little bit. Yeah, let's go to a 1 or 2 minute. That's good. Well, actually, let's do this. Now, hang tight. Here, let me just pull this over for a second. Now, this is NVIDIA, which number one is one of the higher weighted stocks in the NASDAQ. And number two, it's been moving. If you look at just right in here, that's it, right there. Actually, it's back over here a little bit. You could see the example of a lower high there, but we actually are talking about right here. Here we go. When in real time, we're talking about, wait a second, NVIDIA makes this higher high right there, but it's down here when the NASDAQ is over here. I got to change the color pen. When NVIDIA is over here. You see the difference? You got NVIDIA making a higher high right there and a lower high right there. And the NASDAQ is doing something different. This has to be at least, at a minimum, a head scratcher. Compare and contrast to say something might be off. We're looking for clues to make our read of price better and higher probabilities attached to our bias and our decision-making process so that we can become less emotional and more objective. You're not going to be less emotional till you become more objective in anything. I don't like to compare life and death to making and losing money, but sometimes the mind doesn't know the difference. Highly trained soldiers, they get nervous and fearful when bullets are whizzing by their head. They also default to their training in order to give themselves the best chance to survive. There's a mission and training and preparation for that mission. They didn't have proper training, then their fear would turn into, some really poor decisions, I would imagine. And so, again, not comparing what they do to what we do at all, but the concepts of your emotional disposition has to be understood, because in trading, you have the ability to be right or wrong or make or lose money. And those are powerful to create an emotion that doesn't put us in a good decision making role. And therefore, we have to be like, well, if we're going to be less emotional, we got to be more objective. To be more objective, you have to have training. And then it better be the right training with the right tools and the right concepts. And then that's a way to say, you know what? I was bullish, but something's off here. Well, what's off? The NASDAQ and ES are strong, but this NVIDIA stock, which has been driving us, isn't. And then if I fast forward it, look at the move down all in here and all in here. This isn't something, it's helpful to review this after it happened, but it's even more important to see it in real time like we do in the room. And that's why it's good to be part of what makes a good community good is more eyes and ears on SHIT that matters, the stuff that matters. So you are less likely to miss something, whether it's a news event or a good concept or a good technique or a really good tool to create objectivity in your decisions, or else you're just going to be taking shots. And when you do get it right, it'll feel like a guess. Therefore, it will remain random. And you're not going to be consistent in anything if things are random. You have to de-randomize the process. And you have to stop thinking it's your opinion and start thinking it's the market's opinion. We're just trying to read it.